Property rates have gone up dramatically, and in some cases by almost 300%. So, as property owners, we are angry because for so many of us, we still have bad roads, blocked drainage, broken streetlights, and very little service delivery. In fact, things got so heated that the president himself had to step in and direct local councils to reduce their rates. So, the big question that we're asking in this video is when it comes to property rates, what exactly are we paying for? If we haven't met, my name is Natasha Chumia. I'm the CEO of Diaspora Connect. And on this channel, we like to give you, who lives abroad, information and inspiration on the real estate market back home. If you live in the diaspora and you want to find out what rates are all about here at home, then just comment rates in the comment section below this video and we'll send you a guide that breaks it down in very simple language. Now let's get into today's video. Now, over the last few months, property rates became one of the biggest conversations around the country. People were shocked by how much their rates had increased. And part of the reason why people felt so charged about this subject is because, let's face it, we're all feeling financially stretched. You guys, this cost of living has been going up and we are all feeling the pinch. So, when property owners started receiving significantly higher rates bills, people started to ask, wait, hang on, what exactly am I paying for? I recently attended and spoke at the National Symposium on Property Rates on behalf of the Zambia Property Owners Association. And I think what was really interesting about that event is that we could all agree on one thing. Almost everyone agreed that property rates have to be paid to the councils. That part is really not in dispute. In fact, rates are one of the most significant sources of what they call own source revenue for our councils. Without rates, councils would really struggle to provide services like waste management, drainage, roads, and other community infrastructure. So the real issue is not necessarily whether people should pay rates, it's whether people feel that they're getting value in return. And that's a very important distinction. I think many property owners would be happy to pay rates if they could clearly see the results in their communities. That's what's at the heart of this debate. People don't just want to be receiving invoices with rates bills. What they want to see is actual results and service delivery. After I sent out an email on this topic, the response was overwhelming. One person said there seems to be little quid pro quo for the rates that people are paying and actual service delivery. Another person spoke about how poor drainage had caused their wall fence to collapse twice. Others complained about poor roads, poor drainage, poor garbage collection, illegal bars in residential areas. And please, you guys, don't bars in our residential areas. And the council seems to be very unconcerned. In fact, some complained about very weak enforcement by the councils. Now, whether we agree with every complaint or not, there seems to be this growing frustration that rates are rising faster than services are being provided. And psychologically, people are much more willing to pay if they feel the system is fair and accountable. That's just human nature. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think the current property rating system in Zambia is fair? At the same time, and I think it's also important to acknowledge, councils are under enormous pressure. Our cities are expanding rapidly. Our population is growing rapidly. Settlements are just expanding. Infrastructure is under strain, and our councils are just expected to provide services. So, one of the comments I actually received was defending councils. The person actually said, how can the councils provide services if the people themselves are not willing to pay rates? And okay, I think that that's fair. Because you guys, let's face it, as Zambians, we have that problem. We have that culture of non payments. Some people happily go years without paying rates. One person even admitted that they hadn't paid their rates for years because they hadn't received invoices, and also making payment is very inconvenient. And that I can totally accept. It's very manual. You can't pay online. You have to go and queue at the council. And I think this is only just very recently changed. I think only a few weeks ago, the councils announced that you can now pay online. I haven't yet tried it, but up to date, it's been a very inconvenient and manual process. Now, obviously, if people are not paying rates, it creates a very big problem for councils because if compliance levels are low, it means that payments are low. And this means that service delivery suffers even more. So it becomes like this vicious cycle where poor service delivery reduces willingness to pay, low payment reduces revenue, low revenue reduces service delivery, and that reduces willingness to pay. So, what do you think of the current rating system in Zambia? Do you think the current property rating system in Zambia is fair? Drop a comment in the section below this video. I really want to hear your thoughts. Now, for you guys in the diaspora, I think this conversation becomes even more interesting because many of you are already used to paying significantly higher property rates. I'm told that in some countries, you even pay hundreds of dollars a month in property rates. But there's a difference, and I know you know what it is. You can actually see where your rates are going. The roads are maintained, the street lights work, emergency services respond, and public infrastructure is actually visible. So it's natural that if you're in the diaspora and you have to pay more property rates at home, you're going to be asking yourself, where exactly is the money going? And that's a fair question. So again, the issue isn't really about rates. It's confidence in how that money is being used. So, after the president issued the directive for property rates to be reduced, I actually received a text from the council telling me that my rates had been reduced. They gave me a discount of 10%. Guys, I paid my rates bill so quickly because even making that small saving mattered. And I really wanted to take advantage of the discount. But jokes aside, I think the fact that this issue even reached presidential levels just shows how emotionally charged the conversation was becoming all over the country. Now, if you've been watching this far and you're in the diaspora and you're still wondering what this whole property rates thing is about here at home, then all you need to do is just comment rates in the comment section below this video, and we'll send you a link so that you can get a guide that breaks down property rates here at home in very simple language. So, one of the things that we discussed at the symposium was creating a property rate system that actually encourages investment rather than discourages it. Because ultimately, as property owners, and as the council, we shouldn't be enemies. Our interests are actually aligned. For example, council rates have the legal ability to introduce a special levy for a specific community related project. Did you know that? I didn't know that. I learned it for the first time at the symposium. So, if a community needs better drainage, better roads, upgrading waste management, or any improvement to their community infrastructure, the council can introduce a special levy. And why not introduce a levy that's actually tied to a specific outcome? People would be much more willing to contribute to a special levy if they knew what results would be achieved and when the results would be delivered. At the end of the day, development benefits everybody: councils, property owners, communities, and of course, the economy at large. Personally, I feel this conversation is much bigger than the rates themselves. It's really about trust. People want to feel their contributions matter, that they're going to see visible service delivery, and that there's fairness, accountability, and transparency in the system. And at the same time, our councils need sustainable revenue if our cities are ever going to improve and function properly. So I don't think the answer is just to say that rates are bad. I think the real answer, or perhaps maybe the real question, is to say, how can we create a system that people can actually trust? Because once the trust breaks down, even the most reasonable rate charges will start to feel unfair. Now, I would genuinely like to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that the current rate system in Zambia is fair? Drop your comments in the comment section below and let us know what you think, because this is a conversation, guys, that we still have to keep having. And if you'd like to know more about how we can help you who lives abroad buy property back home in a safe and reliable way, you can book a call with us. There's a link below this video, or you can send us a WhatsApp message on the number appearing on your screen. I hope you found this video informative, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share it with just one other Zambian in your community. You can also please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already and hit the notification button because we have so many good videos coming out for you. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Bye. So, when property owners started receiving community infrastructure, drainage, waste management, one person even said, there seems to be little quid pro quo. Eh. Quid pro quo. So it becomes like this kind of vicious cycle where poor services, okay, it's confident that the system. So after the president issued the directive for property